Hello, my name is Alan Kolber. I'm a bankruptcy attorney. I've been practicing law since 1987, and my sole areas of law right now is bankruptcy law and business law. Included in that right now is foreclosure defense as well. All three of these legal fields are related. I don't do other areas of law such as personal injury or divorce cases. I feel that in this day and age, unfortunately, a lawyer has to be a practitioner in a single field in order to specialize in that field. This video series is basically going to explain to you what bankruptcy law is and the different chapters in bankruptcy, which really are Chapter 7, Chapter 11, Chapter 13, which options are best for you, whether you should be filing bankruptcy or whether you don't need bankruptcy at all. I will explain to you what assets are exempt, and that's a legal term that will be dealt with in a different video called exempt assets. I will explore issues such as which taxes could be stripped away in bankruptcy, which debts can be stripped away and which debts cannot be stripped away in bankruptcy, how bankruptcy will affect your family or your spouse, what will happen to your credit rating when you file a bankruptcy, before you file a bankruptcy, and rehabilitating your credit after filing a bankruptcy. And I will also discuss other side issues, whether bankruptcy is better than debt negotiation or whether that debt negotiation is an option for you. I want to give you a little background on my own legal history. After I graduated law school, I worked as a prosecutor for the Queens County District Attorney's Office for a few years. There, I was a bureau chief. I was a part captain in charge of 4 other prosecutors. After that, I was in a trial bureau in which all I did was conduct trials. And then I went into the appeals bureau, preparing and arguing appeals before the appellate division in New York. After the district attorney's office, I spent many years in a law firm on Wall Street defending Lloyd's of London Insurance Company. Basically, I was in federal court most of the time, litigating insurance fraud cases, dealing with gold, fine arts, and jewelry theft and insurance cases. After 7 years of insurance defense and after 10 years of litigating in the federal and state courts, I decided that I needed a change of pace, and I had had a lot of encounters with the bankruptcy court and with bankruptcy attorneys during my litigation days, and I felt that bankruptcy law was a good match for me. I was tired of basically fighting with the other side, battling in litigations, and what I wanted to do was I wanted to do something in the law where I could help people and where I would not be an adversary in every case that I got. And bankruptcy law is a special field of law, and it is a very small field of law. I practice bankruptcy law basically in New York State. I practiced in the Rockland County as my primary office. I also have an office in Queens County. And I practice in the bankruptcy courts from Long Island, Brooklyn, Manhattan, White Plains, and Poughkeepsie. That's only 5 courts. I know most of the other bankruptcy lawyers in New York State, as well as and I've practiced in front of most of the bankruptcy court judges and trustees in the New York City area, including Rockland County and up to Poughkeepsie, Dutchess County, and Ulster County. It's a very small bankruptcy bar. Most of the bank attorneys I work with, I know. Most of the mediators in bankruptcy I work with, I know. I'll do a separate video on why you should be careful with whom you work when you're filing a bankruptcy. During the last financial crisis in 2008 till last year, many young attorneys were entering into the bankruptcy field hoping to cash in on the financial crisis. And I think that was a big mistake because bankruptcy law is such a specialty, and when you take a client into bankruptcy court, which is a federal court, you are protecting that client. And if you do not know how to protect that client, then that client can be endangered by its creditors or the trustees themselves, and that client can actually lose assets in the bankruptcy court unless you have an expert representing you in your case. So this will be the end of this first video, and the next videos I'll get down to the nuts and bolts of what is a bankruptcy, what are the types of bankruptcy, and what are your options with the 3 types of bankruptcy in New York State.